All right, Ms. Rivers, are you ready? Okay, we are late in the day, getting on the record for the first time in State versus Poole. The jury has been here deliberating since 9:24 or 25. They did take a brief lunch break and I think one afternoon break. And maybe 20 minutes ago, I received a note that reads, well, and let me make clear, Mr. Poole is here in court along with his lawyer, and we've got both prosecutors here. The note reads, based on the evidence provided, we are unable to reach a unanimous verdict in this case. What are our next steps? Based on the evidence provided, we are unable to reach a unanimous verdict in this case. What are our next steps? The jury has been deliberating now for 3 and 5 plus 2, about 10 hours minus the breaks. Mr. Abate, your thoughts about what we do?
I think the discretion of the court, I guess the only other option would be the hour charge based on the number of hours that the court has outlined and then diligently deliberated. Okay,
Mr. Miller, your thoughts?
I'll defer to the court.
So here's my proposal. We'll bring out the foreperson, and I will ask the foreperson, not the numerical divide, but whether the divide exists in good faith, meaning simply, are the jurors deliberating and they don't agree, which is okay, or is it a situation where one or more jurors has refused to participate, and so it's not deliberations, it's two sides that aren't even interacting? That's the problematic scenario. I get the sense it's the former scenario, that they just disagree. If that's the answer, then I'll bring all the jurors out and dismiss them, declare a mistrial, because they are at an impasse after having worked very hard to work through the evidence and the strong arguments in both directions. Any objection to that approach, Mr. Abate?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. If you could please have the foreperson come out. Any seat. You're the foreperson?
Yes, sir.
Great. Couple questions. I don't know if you wrote the note, but we got the note that indicates that the jury is, I'm going to use the word deadlock. That's not what was put in there, but that there is a division, and the sense is that the jury isn't, despite having deliberated for 10 hours now, in a position to reach a unanimous verdict in either direction. Is that a fair summary of where you are?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is the situation that people are agreeing to disagree, or are you in a scenario where one or more jurors are refusing to deliberate? Because there's a distinction, and it's important that the lawyers and I understand whether it's hey, we just don't agree. It's a close case, and some people, and I don't want the numbers, think one way and some people think the other way, versus a couple jurors stopped talking to us hours ago and won't even engage on the topic of guilty, not guilty. The first one. People are doing their best to see if they can reach common ground. Okay, that's the sense I got. Thank you, sir. Mr. Body, anything you want to get on the record before I bring the jurors out?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Miller?
No, Your Honor.
So the process will be, we'll bring them all in a minute, and I'll thank them on behalf of all of us. Then I'm gonna have them go back to the jury room. I need to get them letters, show them where they were and thank them back there. I'll invite any of them to come back in here, to interact with you all if you want that. If you know you don't want that, I'm gonna let them go. And they may not want to do that because this has been a difficult emotional case. But just know if you're interested in getting feedback from the jurors about what caused some to lean one way or some to lean the other way, I'm always open to getting the lawyers that feedback, assuming the jurors want to do it. And I'll let you know. I won't leave you hanging. Are they coming out or not? I'll ask them. And if one or more says yes, then the setup is they're in the jury box, and you guys can talk with them. It'll make more sense if it's just the lawyers and the jurors and not your client and not family members. So if family members aren't comfortable with that, then I'm not going to bring the jurors out. That's just sort of how we do it. So I'm going to let both sides work through that with the people in the gallery, and we'll see if something can happen. Let's bring the jurors in, please.
All rise for the jury. Judge President of the county floor.
Thank you, Deputy Gordon. Everyone can be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I spoke briefly with the foreperson so that I could get a sense of where you were in the process of trying to reach a unanimous verdict in one direction or the other. And he shared with me that the process has been long and arduous and heartfelt, and that this is a jury based on the evidence you received that's not able to reach a unanimous verdict as to any of the counts. And that is not a sign of anything not working. That is what happens sometimes because reasonable people can reasonably disagree. I want to thank you on behalf of the state as well as on behalf of Mr. Poole for the time you put into this case, receiving the evidence, and as a group processing it to see if you could reach a unanimous verdict. It doesn't happen in every case. It didn't happen in this case, but your service was essential, and we're going to move forward. I'm going to ask you all, and your alternate will join you in a moment in the jury room, to go back to the jury room. We've got letters for each of you that documents how many days you've been here in case you need it for work or family or just a memento, and just give you a few other instructions. But do know that everyone who participated in presenting the case to you appreciated your attention to detail and your willingness to deliberate, air your views, and people don't always agree on everything. And this is one of those situations. So thank you for your time.
All rise for the jury.
She's in the other jury room, right through there. If you could get her, thank you. he not come out yet? Oh. Gonna check on him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with these proceedings. Mr. Poole, you remain under indictment for these very same charges. The jury wasn't able to reach a verdict, so this is basically a reset. I'll be entering an order soon declaring the mistrial because the jury was at an impasse. Mr. Miller, I am sure, will be talking with Mr. Abate about next steps. I will figure out when I'll put this back on a trial calendar, but we are where we were about a week ago, where these charges remain pending. You're still on bond. Make sure you comply with all the conditions of your bond. And I'll make sure, Mr. Miller, we work with your schedule before we put it back on a trial calendar to ensure you're available. I mean, we've got your leaves, but we want to make sure, since I now understand how many people are coming for out of town, that this is something that fits in with your schedule as well. Mr. Body, anything we need to cover before we adjourn? Okay, well, thank you and Mr. Rao for being ready to go and moving the case along. And Mr. Miller, thank you for all your efforts on behalf of Mr. Poole. I'm gonna go meet with the jurors. Are you all interested in staying here or not?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll let you work on clearing the courtroom.
Thank you.
So. From the rest of me, all the sleep will be better. Yeah. I know, right? I have about, oh, you get that?
Yeah, the mic back on.
It's been like that all. That was all, that's the last week.
Yeah, this is all, you got all of your stuff? Yes, ma'am. So I saw some of your pictures. Oh, I got some more for you? Yeah. So you got all the other way like this. Yeah. I didn't even call me, because I won't remember. Yeah.
My brain's not too good anymore.
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're 19. Oh, 19, we're missing 19. Oh, no, we're not. I got 19. We got it. We got it.
I'm sorry.
Reverse, yeah.
Do we need to order the transcript or?
We do have to order. Add one message to it on my radar.
Is it one where if they order it, they will automatically get it? But we wouldn't be getting just because they put it on there for the county.
But they just gonna be nice and show it.
No, because they can steal from me. Oh, yeah, yes,
Still is a bad word to quote.
They may not even order it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh, once you.
But you know, you have my email, just send me an email. Work something out. What's it?
Gotta be back to work tomorrow.
I'm actually getting on vacation.
Oh, good for you. Where you going?
I'm gonna go on a little cruise.
That's what's up.
Yes, it's, I'm
Long overdue.
I'm tired, yeah.
How long you gonna be cruising?
Just for a week.
Take 2 more. Just stay.
Are you using the third?
I'm leaving Friday.
Oh, right. This Star's about to take a cruise. She leave. She might leave Friday.
Which one she going? I'm not saying.
Yeah,
We might end up on it again. I'm like,
know you know. But y'all take it easy. If I can rest a little easy tonight.
Oh,
Yeah, he will. He will,
so,
yeah. For both sides.
starting on. That moves. They say, yeah, but so stay there. Right. Yeah, go up sometime. So, we work there. We work on the day, 'cause we're like 96. And that raise. So it's like very. Yeah, let's try. Here. Yeah. That's better than good. So, check that email and then I'll call you this evening. Okay, all right. Oh, man, what's your name again, bro? Brian. Brian. Oh, yeah, man. Nice to meet you, bro.
Yeah, you're a regular, I do. You can't tell how it's going. Listen, man, I don't take nothing personal.
No, me either.
I just get to with this.
Yeah. You know, this.
Yeah, bro. You do it long enough, you know that.
There you go. Only parts of the show. And that is. Oh, good. Man.
Oh, yeah, there's no time limit. I'm gonna keep everyone out. I'm gonna go work, so.
Go right into the jury box where you're sitting.
We'll get them in there. They haven't left, they're posted.
Anybody want to share that? You. All right, take care.
Oh, okay, alright, well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is great to Now we are. And we are with
I'm gonna get the background.
Hey, this is a good one.
That was over there. I never had that side. Also, it's like, yeah, that's what, that's the picture I took around. It's weird. Oh, I know, I love it. Oh, okay. No,
Appreciate everyone's time throughout the process. Sure.
We just thought we would, a lot of deliberation.
Yeah.
We had some thoughts.
So whoever wants to go first, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
So, and I think we all kind of agree on this, is one of the things that we really expected to see that was missing was the entire recreation of the crash. Right, the GSP officer, his investigation basically stopped at once it hit the wall. Right, we used a 3D model, carbon at this angle, it's what this
Here's
is in
what
time,
happened, here's the
here's
size
what
of the
happened.
car, and here's we didn't know how tall and full it was, so how is he gonna switch places with DT, which.
Or how much space there is in a 2017 Infiniti G50, like what is the open space here, what's the space between the seats, what's the size of
The advantage.
the passengers compared to that? All of that being left out felt really weird.
Yeah.
And I think made some of us kind of uncomfortable with making a guilty plea with half of the accident just completely missing.
I'd say that the majority, they know the numbers, right, so the majority,
Oh, were you guys sold numbers?
Yeah.
They don't.
they don't know.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'd say the majority are thinking it's more likely that Kenneth was the driver. Because of where he was found, but if there was just this unsettling, no, but not everyone was convinced because there was a lack of data either proving he was in the backseat, how likely was it that he was asleep the whole time? There were just some big questions, and then how does, if we're gonna talk about him moving to the front seat, there's some serious data missing to prove that happened physically.
If there was a model saying, and a specialist to say, I do this for a living, bodies do this, they go like this,
Not
the most
medical examiner.
likely
More like
scenario of
physicists,
where these people went was here, and I don't believe they could have switched, not the medical examiner
Right.
or the chiropractor guy or any of
Next up.
Where were the other papers? I think fundamentally, it was
that. It was that.
the movement of bodies seemed, you're gonna have to really prove that that's physically possible. Or
We
disprove
would just say,
or
just
disprove
have
it.
somebody confidently that does this for a
That has
living
this,
statement.
right.
And if you was this tall, it's hard, this wide, or this fast, and see that things actually.
I thought the paper model for the physics was helpful, but it would have been, I think, better if it was something else. Like that was all.
So we expected a lot more.
Yeah.
There was just fundamental lack of.
So I think that was the main, if I give one main takeaway, it would be that was the point of contention for some of the jurors was the further explanation of the dynamics inside the corridor. And so, I mean, I think that was just the main point of contention. Everything else was, reasonably discussed in debate, but that was an interesting.
Was there anything about the injury